It don't matter where you are in your life. You don't have to do it by yourself. It don't matter what you need. Colin can help.
So it is Colin's Conversations. We have Josh Dobay. Go ahead and introduce yourself and a quick 1-2 about how you got started.
Sure. Like you said, I'm Josh. I run Josh Dobay Productions, which is a photography, videography company. I also do the social media marketing for Miracle Canine Training, and I am the media manager for Evan Lovett, who is a muralist in Philadelphia. Basically, I started off as a musician. I was in a heavy metal band called Demolisher. Check it out if you want to smash somebody's head in.
There we go.
But basically, I was doing that for a long time, and then I stopped it for my ex-fiance. We had gotten a house together, and we became a manager at Melt Bar and Grill here in Cleveland. And I was slowly starting to realize that this was not for me. You know, I was doing 70 hours a week, 60, 70 hours a week, just grinding my ass at a fucking 9 to 5 piece of shit restaurant. Like, I hate to say it that way. I love everything, that the opportunities that were given to me, but I noticed that I needed something creative in my life. You know, after trying to be a musician for 10, 15 years, I was chasing this creative outlet my whole life, and then now I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to do this like normal thing. Yeah, exactly. I'm selling sandwiches. And so my buddy Sam, who worked with me at the time, he just started a company with his partner. It's called Skeleton Studios, and he kept telling me all the time, he's like, this place is sucking your life. You gotta stop. You know, try something else, you know, come over to our studio, like blah, blah, blah. And then kept on. I'm like, all right, I'll come over. So I came over, and this is before they had even built anything. They had just gotten the spot.
What year are we talking?
This is 2017. Into 2016, started 2017. And I'm like, man, this is actually sweet, just to see like the bare bones of what they're going to build, you know. And he's been doing video stuff since he was in high school, you know. And he always told me, he's like, oh, you got the eye, you know, you can do this, you got the eye. Like, okay, fine. And then I started watching Peter McKinnon on YouTube, Casey Neistat on YouTube, you know. That glamorous life of just building your own thing. It's like, man, that's so awesome. Like, I want to get into vlogging. So I literally, finally, I just had enough, and I took all my credit cards, and laptop, camera, drone, you know, stands, lights, you know, everything that I needed to start off, and just max those motherfuckers out. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. You know, this is what I want to do. I didn't know anything. You know, I'd had a camera once, and then I had, you know, my smartphone. Right. But I was like, I just feel like this is something I can do that'll get my creative juices flowing again. So I just said, fuck it, and bought everything that I needed without knowing how to do any of it. They then offered me, we decided to start a drone company. Like an aerial photography, you know, 3D imaging kind of thing, with Sam and Mark and a couple other people. We started this company called Sky's Edge Media. Didn't go well. You know, we got it all set up, and then some people were doing more than others, which rightfully so. Like, some people were more skilled than others. Like, I was brand new to it. But I also was going through a breakup with my ex-fiance at the time, because she did not like my career change, because I quit Melt, which I should also say, I quit it to do this, right, and started slinging pizzas. She didn't like that. She didn't find it financially sound. She didn't support me. So cut those motherfuckers out of your life. Just saying.
Absolutely.
That's the best part. If you take anything from this podcast, that cut the people that don't fucking support you at all. I wouldn't be here if I'd listened to her. But I was going through all this, it fell apart. So now I'm just like, oh man, this is what I thought we were going to start this. This was going to be the company that gets under me, that I can start doing everything that I want, and I'm going to make money off of this. Well, it didn't happen. So now I'm like homeless. I'm like, couch surfing. The company went under. I got like barely any money. No money. I'm in such a debt, right? So I was just like, I have to reset. So I left. I left Cleveland. I took that bag that I have right there, packed up the clothes I had, and then left. Like, I sold my ex everything that I had, pretty much, and I went back to Indiana to just like restart myself. And then opportunity just comes knocking. I'm staying at a friend's house on his couch, and my friend Evan, who I do media for now, he's also my tattoo artist, and he's a great dude. He just called me up one day and he's like, hey, weren't you doing camera stuff? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying. And he's like, come over here. Like, so I went out for a week, and he was doing a mural. He does giant art.
Planetarium one?
Nope. This is a precursor to it. Yeah, it was just a wall out in Philadelphia. So I took some pictures. I did a little video. I look at it now; it's so shitty, but it's okay. It was my first like real video, right? And I'm driving back home, and he calls me back because I had told him, kind of where I'm at, and he's like, "Listen, come back next week. I'll pay you for a month to live with me and just do videos for me." I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. So I came back. He paid me like for a month of just doing work for him, doing more mural like videos, photography, and then I decided, all right, Philly's a little too much for me. I'm gonna go down to Florida. Okay, family in Florida. The whole 2017 was just me like moving around, and learning new things. So Philadelphia was up here learning about video and some photography, but mostly video. I go down to Florida, I get into real estate photography because I'm like, I had put myself in this position, like I have to use this stuff to make money. Right. In Philadelphia, I used it to make money. If I'm going to be here in Florida, I have to use it to make money. So I found a real estate rental, like vacation rental thing, and they were like, well, we need photos. All right. I gave them I just threw a number out there. I had no idea, and it stuck. And I'm like, okay.
Isn't it beautiful when that happens?
Yeah, it was great. It was amazing, especially because like a guy that like at this point I'm only 4 or 5 months in, right? I'm still like learning everything. YouTube or forums. That's how I'm learning. That's how I'm creating these things. And so I build a reputation down there, and now I'm like, okay, I have unfinished business. Like I left Cleveland in a shitty situation, right? Like I gotta go back. I got so many friends up there, blah blah blah. So I come back up, and just so happens my friends, like I was looking for anything for work at the moment, and they're like, hey, why don't you come at our dog place, which is Heights Canine. I'm like, yeah, sure, how much? And they told me the hourly rate, and I'm like, I can't really live off that. So then they contacted me like a week and a half later. Said, well, wait a second, you do photography and stuff, right? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, just hop on, like we'll pay you as a media person, right? So I started taking pictures of dogs full time.
It's one of the best jobs you can get, I think.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's
right?
It's definitely amazing. And I've been with his name's David Turpak. He's now the owner of Miracle Canine Training, but I've been with him over a year, and it's just been nice because I've been able to grow myself while I've had this job. So Josh Dobay Productions came about probably like August last year. And that's what I do, everything that's not dog related, basically. Any kind of like boudoir or portraits, the mural stuff that I do with Evan, which may not be a little bit longer. We're actually going to start a company together, actually, for his stuff, because he's just got so much to do. but I don't know, that's the long, short end of everything of how I got here. And that's where I'm going right now.
Nice. You gave me about 8,000 angles to go.
Good.
That's what's beautiful about almost all these podcasts. Almost all work the same. And like it's interchangeable with the guests. But like,
Yeah.
I listened to the intro, and you did a phenomenal way of giving me 8,000 ways to run with it. So let's start with, you mentioned how almost everything that you've learned is self-taught through YouTube.
Yes.
Myself as well. I mean, like I said earlier, I started a lawn business, and I knew how to cut grass at my house, but I didn't know anything about plants or anything. Where, like you said, you go through some forums, you go through some YouTubes, a couple trial and errors, kind of underbid a few things just to get the experience, and then once you know what you're doing, you go there. How about formal education? Did you go to college or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I went to college for about a year. I was going for recording arts, which is like soundboarding and stuff. This was back
when you were doing your heavy metal days?
Yeah. It was, I actually quit college to be in the metal, like in a band. So I was in Indiana at the time. I was going to Indiana University. And man, I just like knew,
Right.
like high school was just like whatever for me as well, and then I got into college and I'm like, man, I don't think this is what I really want to do, and I was in a really shitty, like, hardcore band back in southern Indiana, right? And my cousin Cole up here actually was like, oh yeah, let's play some guitar, man. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm moving up. So I moved 9 hours up here to play guitar with my cousin, and from there, it was like a business thing. It was like this small one got me into this bigger one, and then I got into a national act. Like I said, it's called Demolisher. It was like we got to tour around a bunch of times, and yeah, that's how I got up here. So
you play guitar? Anything else?
I play drums.
Nice.
I bang on things. It's been a long time. Don't ask me to be in your band because it'd be real rusty. But
and are you self-taught musician, or did you take lessons on guitar? How did that all start out?
No, I was in band. I was a band nerd in high school.
Gotcha. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I look back at it, and I was a little fat boy, but
it happens.
Yeah.
But so you went from Indiana. I mean, you've traveled all over the place. You said nationally with the band. Where's the best place that you've ever either visited or lived, or location wise?
Best place, vacation or touring wise, would be Albuquerque. It's my
New
number
Mexico.
one. Yes, New Mexico.
See any aliens?
No, I went to Roswell like 4 times. I'm still looking, but no, Albuquerque is just amazing. It's right by a mountain. Like, so they have desert on one side and skiing all year round on the other, and it's just amazing. California, obviously, like you go down the coast. Oh,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
It's amazing how long it takes to drive through California, isn't it?
Yes. You don't think about it until you get over there, and you're like, oh, okay, this is like 3/4 of the way up and down. You know? So.
Yeah, Maura and I, we drove, must have been 3 years ago already. She flew out when I was in Seattle. She was going to drive back with me, and we're driving through California and everything. And I have an aunt that lives in San Diego, and we're thinking, like San Francisco or somewhere. I'm like, oh, I should go see Aunt Janet. Let's plug it in on GPS. And I was like, because you're looking at the map, and you're like, oh, that could only be 4 or 5 hours or something. Like, I feel bad not to go see her. And then you plug it in, and you're like, it's still 12 hours away. We're not going to go see Aunt Janet.
Yeah. Nope, we're not seeing her.
Not on this trip. That's a standalone trip.
Yeah. No, traveling's fun though,
Absolutely.
And thankfully, first it was work, touring, which I will tell you, people always think, oh, you're on tour, like you're having the time of your life. That was the hardest work I ever did, You go, I drive 12 hours to unload a bunch of equipment, to play like a half-hour marathon basically, pack it up and then drive another 12 hours. Partying is not a thing. I mean, sometimes it can be, but usually it's you get drunk in the back of the van to go to sleep. That's what that is. It's. I think as you were talking beforehand, marketing and what you've learned through like businesses. I think most of the stuff that I've learned was through being in a band. I have to market myself. I have to create a product. I have to create a brand image for people to come to me because, metal bands are dime a dozen. I have to, how do I bring myself out to be this? And then touring is literally me going and showing you this product.
Right.
every night, and you have to do it consistently every night. And then we're talking about merch. I had to buy merch and like keep inventory items and all this, and then to get my stuff on Spotify, I had to get a label, basically a third-party label to put us on there, and all this. It was a lot. Like I learned more from being in a band about business than I have anything else, than being a manager at a restaurant, honestly. So.
What about like getting the gigs? Is there any trick to finding venues and things like that? Like, did you guys already have everything set before you went out, or?
Yeah. So basically, first you do local. You play your local scene. Then you go district, regional, Midwest or East Coast, wherever you're from, and then you got to show that you can pull or you can have some kind of numbers, because then you got to get the best thing is, there's some people that I know. There's a band called Traders. They do everything themselves. Great dudes. They've like figured it out. But most people, like we had an agent. We had a booking agent, booking agency. We didn't have a label yet before I quit, but we were being looked at. But it's all about marketing with these other companies usually.
Just kind of doing your own networking,
Yeah.
but then also having that standalone guy that's all he does.
Yeah, that's all he does. He contacts the venues. They gets everything set up, finds promoters within the area, and then you get your guarantee, which is like, I have to make this much to come out to you to play.
Right.
Which it all depends on what they do. Like, you got to get a good promoter to promote the shit out of the show for them to make money.
Right.
And that's the whole like the world, the life cycle of the music entertainment industry is, if you work hard enough, you'll make, like as a promoter, you'll make a lot of money. But if you're just one of those guys that I'll make a Facebook group, you're never going to make any money.
Right.
And for other genres, that's already built up, country and all that. Even more mainstream metal, yeah. But this local, like, there's like this heavy beatdown or like old school hardcore, or even like old school punk. It's like this underbelly, like just anyone thinks they can be a promoter,
right?
And they go in and out, and then they don't know what they're doing. And they lose like $500 on a show because they did a Facebook group and thought that was going to bring people in.
Yeah, we've all been to a couple of those shows where you're like, how are they going to make any money at this place?
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you gotta. That's a lot of times in my life, that's this. You have to learn the hard way. You gotta bite. You gotta bite the bullet and take some losses.
Yeah, I think you learn more from the losses than you learn for the gains. It sounds kind of cliche, but you know what I mean? Like, if you lost $500 trying to set up a show, you're not about to do that same thing that you just did to that show ever again.
No, exactly. And I'm one of those. Before I was in a touring band, there's I used to book a couple of shows. I was that guy that I'm talking about. I lost my ass on the show. And I was working like at Speedway at the time. This is 8 or 9 years ago, but I didn't have extra money, and I lost like $800, but I made sure I paid the bands. But I was like, oh my God, there was everything I've saved for the last year, gone. So that taught me, like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it right. So the next show I did, I made $400. It wasn't a lot, but I didn't lose and I gained. So
right, and if you're still working at Speedway and you can pull off one of those each week, there's an extra $1,600 a month just to kind of.
Yeah, exactly. There's a friend of mine. His name's Corey Haiti. He's from Columbus now. He used to live in Cleveland, but he started. It's called Bravo Artist, and he went from just doing these local acts, and now he's like one of the biggest booking agents for this area.
That's
sweet. He books. He used to book for like 21 Pilots and all that. Like he used to be into that group, and now he does a thing called Spring Fling here at the Agora Theater downtown. It packs out every year, like both stages, huge event. I'm just like, that's crazy, and it's just something that he's stuck with his entire life.
Right. And
he's became so successful over it.
And I'm sure each year one that festival probably you said, he probably lost his ass on year one, and year two he's like, all right, I figured it out, and each year it builds and the relationships build.
And now it's just like a well-oiled machine that he's got 6 people under him. He knows exactly what he needs, like who he needs to get, blah 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 blah. You know, and that's the thing for everybody. You know, even me. Like sometimes I look like at these other photographers, you know, and I'm like, God, this stuff's so much better. Like, his video's so much better. But the thing we always forget to realize is that they came from the same spot that I'm at now.
Right.
You know, we all had to start somewhere, and we all sucked at some point. You know, I mean, I could show you the photos that I first took, and I'm just now I look at them I'm like, what were you thinking, dog? That like, you know, like I'm like.
I mean, I'm the same way. When I first started mowing grass, like I'd look at people that do the, you know, the diamond cut.
Yeah.
And like I just look at it in amazement, like how the fuck.
Yeah.
You're looking at the lines, like how did they do that? And then when you realize all they did was went like this, and then they went like that, and after you look at it when it's done, I mean, the same way like that painting above you. I have no idea how to do that, but I'm sure there's 8,000 fuck-ups underneath that final product that we don't see.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But the dude kept going with it, or you kept learning the photos, I kept learning things, or even with the podcast. When I listened to the first podcast, I think I said and 47 fucking thousand times.
Yes, sir.
You don't hear me saying those words because I listened to it. I'm like, all right, should not say that because it sounds horrible. You know, like you said, you learn each time, and as long as you grow from each time, you've won. As far as I'm looking at it.
Yeah, and that's the problem with today's, you know, instant gratification, right? We see the Instagram. I put my photo up. Oh, it got 60 likes, 100 likes. Oh yeah, you know, I feel good. Like it's instantly gratified.
Get that dopamine right away.
Yeah, exactly. But that makes people not want to work for things. You know, I have that problem. Sometimes I look at something that I've done and I'm like, oh, that's not good enough. You know, why can't I be better? And then I get this little doubt inside of me. But that's what cripples so many people. You know, someone tries something new, or they get into something, and then they just stop because this is too hard. Oh, it's not good enough. I'm not doing good enough. Like, come on. Like, nobody was perfect. Like, if you stop at square one, you'll never get. You know, you never know what your potential will be.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with most people nowadays, or anyone that feels like they're stuck in this like loop. They're 9 to 5, but they're too afraid because they tried something like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Right. Or same too with that, they're like you weren't afraid to go max out your credit cards and go buy a whole bunch of stuff because you're like, I want to do this. I know I want to do this, and if I buy the stuff, I have to do it. Where a lot of people, that first step of like, oh, I don't know, I only got $3,000 on my credit card. I can't put a $2,600 laptop on it. Yeah. You know, like I was very lucky. My wife back there, you know, when I started doing all this, I have an iMac in our bedroom. Yeah. Which is like a 2007 iMac, which is great for most things until you want to do anything with video. Yep. And then you're like, garbage. Why does rendering take 4 hours just to get the thing into the program? Yeah. You're like, it'll run Photoshop, it'll run Premiere and all these things, but it won't run it. Yeah, so it'll run it. Yeah. You know, she got so mad at me for yelling all the goddamn time about nothing's working and I can't accomplish anything. Yeah. She's like, you got a good credit score, go get yourself a laptop. And, you know, like in my head, I'm like, I know that's what I needed to do. Yeah. But you're like, do I want to do this bad enough to go spend $2,200 or whatever I spent on a MacBook Pro? You know, and then once you have it, you're like, how did I do this so long just fucking around on that, you know? Yeah. Oh, I feel it. As soon as you upgrade. You upgrade and you're like, oh, yes. But you're right. People have that weird like sense of they don't want to spend money on it. I'm like, you gotta spend money to make money. Like, I'm sure you deal with that all the time as a content producer and everything else. I mean, especially like, you know, a lot of artists always say how everybody's trying to lowball them and doesn't want to spend money. And same too. Like we do a very similar business model of you know you need this. I could tell you 1,000 reasons why you need this, and they're like, oh, but it's how much a month? Yeah, exactly. To give me some likes? Well, yeah, but likes turn into people looking at you, more interested. They follow the wormhole. They follow where you're going to go. Next thing you know, they're in your store. Yeah, exactly. Like, well, for my company that I do social media for, like, okay, we do board and trains for dogs. We're talking $2,600 to $5,500 per dog. You know, that's if I get one person. You know, like I've paid for my monthly fee of what I am there for. Right. Like just one, but I've seen the fruits. I see the messages. You know, we have a website. I see the contact forms come in.
like I see my worth that is there, and it's nice to have someone that understands that worth,
Right.
you know? And that's how people, yet again, they don't look at it that way. You know, they're just like, I don't want to spend, you know, $500-$600, you know, to get likes or any of this traffic on my social media. Why does that matter? I'll just use my phone.
Right.
Like, yeah, your phone can be a amazing tool if you know how to work it.
Right.
You know, like I could set up a little lighting and just use my phone as well, and it'll still work better than like some other person that has no idea what they're doing.
Right.
You know, and
by the way, we're doing all of this on a cell phone with a little light. For anybody that's
Yes.
just audioing, we're talking about my setup right here, essentially. But continue.
Yes, and he's doing a great job at it. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. So good job to you.
Thank you, sir.
But yeah, and the other thing, you know, not even just like about what the content is, but about posting. You know, a lot of these businesses, they don't even post. They don't even use it. It's like restaurants. Oh man, it hurts me. Like your whole thing is to be a public gathering area. You should be using social media, which is a digital gathering area, to tell people to come to you. The easiest thing is to take pictures of food. People love food. Food, dogs, and women. We just talked about that. Like, that's what Instagram is about.
Right.
You know? And I don't know.
With the restaurants too, what kills me is the people that they're only showing a picture of their cheeseburger. They're not showing that guy that just loved that cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people focus so much on showing off the product, but not realizing that you're not selling a product. You're selling an emotion. You're selling the different feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Those actually bring people in, opposed to, damn, that sandwich looks good. What's on there? Let's go to this grocery store and make that.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
Make it a destination point.
Absolutely. And like you were saying too about times of posting and things like that, you're just doing with your photo. There's a shop across the street, it's So You, they're a resale company.
Yeah.
And they have Coach, they have name brand, a lot of great stuff, and they do a real good job of their photography.
Yeah.
But at least once a month I'm sending them a DM, which gets no response, by the way, which is never a good idea, you know.
Yeah.
You want to get engagement, and I'm trying to give you tips and you're not listening. So not that they're watching my podcast, because clearly not, but their problem is every day, because I have my post notifications on anybody that I either enjoy your content or I want your business.
Yep.
Those two, I get an instant notification so I can go see what it is. Every day, right around closing time, they have 5 to 7 photos, boom, 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 but nothing all day long.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, hey, why don't you go, spend the $13 a month to get a program that you could put everything in.
Yeah.
3 posts a day, 5 posts a day, and schedule them out so they're seeing it, opposed to, it's all their shit again.
Exactly.
Why people aren't investing $15 a month, even if you do it yourself, and you don't hire somebody like you or somebody like me, why don't people listen to people that are giving them free advice? It's amazing to me.
It's because social media scares the shit out of people.
Right.
They just don't understand it. I mean, this isn't really helping us, you know? That's literally how people look at it. And
I think a lot of people too, they're looking, like a lot of the businesses you've mentioned and a lot of people that I've worked, if it's not a positive per transaction, every transaction, like if yours $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, they're like, well, why am I giving you $3,000 to $5,000? I'm not getting anything back. But they're not, like you said, they're not seeing the amount of people that are coming in because of that traffic source.
Yep.
And just because this transaction's $5,000, just wait 3 months, 8 months. Content lives forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
people scroll down, they're seeing that photo from 2 years ago. It's still right there, you know? And, I was just listening to Joe Rogan on the way here, of course.
White man's Oprah.
Yeah.
I love him.
But they were just talking about Instagram and social media, and 1 billion people log in a month on Instagram. Just
I just
Instagram.
listened to this one too. That was today's episode. Yesterday's episode.
Yesterday's. Yeah, like 1 billion.
And that's using it, not even like the inactive users.
Yeah, not the inactive. That's 1 billion people, and you're telling me you do not want to get in on that?
Right.
Like, you don't want to make that a priority? Like, okay, in this area, right? There's 300,000+ people in just the Cleveland metropolitan area.
Right.
There's another 2 million on the outside. You're telling me you don't want to make yourself known to these people?
Right.
Like, especially if you're like a burb like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. someone on the other side of town's not going to know about you.
Right.
Unless you get on the media and you make yourself a destination. Like, oh, hey, I saw these guys. Like, I want to go over there. Like, there's it's called Hartville Collectibles. It's in Hartville. It's down by Cuyahoga Falls and Akron area. Mm-hmm. It's like this giant like flea market thing. But they've actually done a really good job on their Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And it's like, people go there.
Right.
You know? You just like have to make yourself a destination point.
That was us yesterday. We went to Kalahari, but I've been watching Cocky's Bagels over in North Olmsted since before they've opened. I don't know if you've heard of them. But, you know, it's one of those, I see their posts all the time. I see people posting the same little area from their store.
Yeah.
And we're driving, and I'm starving. And I'm like, you know what, we're about 45 minutes before they open. I was like, let's take a side trip. Yeah. We went over to Cocky's Bagels. Great service, great food, great atmosphere, great everything.
Yeah.
And how did I know about them? Because they're on my Instagram right now. You know, I see their Facebook ads. I see, you know, different things, and you're like, all right, I see happy people. I see bagels. I love bagels.
Yeah.
Gotta go. You know.
Who doesn't love bagels? Come on.
Lily in the bedroom doesn't love bagels. We had that conversation on the way. She's like, I like donuts, and I was like, bagels are better. You're young, you'll learn.
Yeah, bagels are always better than donuts.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
But let's move a little bit back into, you know, more of what you do. So you racked up your credit cards. How did you decide what gear that you were going to invest in? I mean, you said you got computer, camera, all these things. How did you pick? I mean, there's so many different pieces of equipment. How did you narrow it all down, and what all did you go with?
Oh man, Peter McKinnon for sure. Casey Neistat for sure. Like I said their names earlier, but I got the Canon 80D. I got the DJI Mavic Pro drone. You know, I got the Gorilla Pod from Joby. Got a MacBook Pro. I mean, I just started looking at vloggers, even though like vlogging was literally, it was like this. You know, I thought about it for a second and I was like, man, I am not interesting enough right now.
Right.
You know, maybe sometime in the future I will, but I don't find like the spunk enough to do it yet. But that's how I kind of delved myself into it. And my friend Sam, again, he kind of gave me tips on, hey, go ahead and get this. Like, this is good starter equipment, which it is. And I still use it right now. Like, I'm looking to upgrade soon, but a very important thing is to know how to use your stuff before you get anything new. Like, max out your abilities with what you have, because if you do that and you buy something that's way better, you're going to be that much better with that piece, you know?
Makes sense.
And I think that's with anything, you know, anything you do. Whether it's like, you know, if you can mow a lawn and make it look immaculate with a smaller mower, and you can just use one of those zero turns next, and you're just like, you're just going to ace it that much quicker and that much better if you know how to do it.
Absolutely.
You know, with something smaller.
I equate what you're saying to my golf game. I'm not a great golfer, but my uncle makes fun of me every time he talks about golf, because he's like, if anybody that wants to go play a scramble, you need to get Colin, because that motherfucker does amazing things with a 9-iron. He'll go out there with a putter and a 9-iron, and that's it. A bag of balls, and that's it.
Yeah.
But there's 18 clubs in a set, or however many in a set. Like, I don't know how to use every driver. I don't know how to use every wedge, but I could hit that 9-iron 100 yards, dead in the middle of the fairway, every time.
Yeah.
So like you said, like, and I learned that one, then I branched out to the wood or whatever, but like, as soon as you know how to use one, then you go out and do the other thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't overextend yourself and try to figure out blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't stress that enough. You know, I used to be that guy, you know, I need a better camera body. Oh, I need a better lens. Oh, I need this, I need that.
Help yourself, I just need better skills.
Yeah, exactly. I just need to sit there and tone it. And the thing that helped me, I mean, I didn't have the money to buy new things. Right. So I was like, all right, I have to do what I'm doing right now with what I got. And it almost has just alleviated the need or the want to, like, get something new. Mm-hmm. I know I need it to be competitive for the bigger things that I'm starting to get in now. But it was just so, like, it was almost relief, I would say, to not want to be just like so honed in on gear.
Right.
You know, I think especially for something like photography, it's so easy to get stuck on, I'm a gearhead. I need gear. Because something, you know, it's a technological field.
Right.
that, every 3 months, a new camera body that blows the last one out of the water by, leaps and bounds,
Right.
And now I'm approaching 2 years with my camera body, so it's like ancient history almost at this point. But I got to meet this wonderful lady. Her name's Brittany Gidley. She is like a baby, like newborn family photographer. She's here in Cleveland. She does LeBron's pictures. She does, some of the Cavs, the other Cavs players. She built this all herself too, so I pick her brain all the time, right?
Absolutely.
But she's one of those, she has these 2 camera bodies that are, 2, 3, 4 years old, and she has 2 lenses and 1 light. That's all. That's all she has.
Right.
I thought, someone that has built herself up that big of a reputation, the clients that she gets are huge, I'm like, oh, she's going to have just this wall of gear, I was like, she's going to sit there and I'm going to be like drooling the whole time.
Just thinking you're at Dodge Camera or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought. And then I went there and she had 1 camera bag, and I'm like, wait a second. Wait, you did all this with just this,
Right.
And she's like, yeah. And you taught yourself as well, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, goals, you are who I want to be. And just seeing someone that has made herself successful, very successful with just what she has.
Right.
It just gives me so much like fire under my feet,
Absolutely. What about drones? I'm always interested in them. I've never wanted to buy one, but how do you feel about using them? What applications do you see yourself using them more in?
So I use mine mostly for when I'm doing his mural work, Evan's mural work. It's just, a nice perspective to get this. It's like this giant piece of art on this side of a 30-foot building.
Right.
I have to almost use it. That's pretty much the only time I use it. Can't say that I've used in other places. I mean, a lot of people do for vlogs or anything like that, or a movie or something. But it's very limited for me, and I kind of wish I hadn't got it. But at the same time, I am glad because it's such a niche tool.
Right.
And I think the drone craze there for a while, a couple years ago.
Right.
Everyone was getting them and like, oh, I'm gonna be so good with it, and then they either wreck it or then they realize I can't really use this as much as I wanted to. So I think it's more of a fluff tool. It's kind of like a GoPro.
Gotcha.
GoPros are cool, but you can use it for this.
Yeah, you mentioned that you did real estate down in Florida. Some of the best drone work that I've seen are people that are using drones for real estate photography.
Yeah, I did use it for the real estate for sure. I mean,
you get a big, nice, beautiful house, big acreage and everything to be able to go up 50, however many feet up in the air.
And it was right by the beach, so I was like, all right, I got to get that in there. I'm like, I got to zoom out on that. Yeah, I mean, drones are an amazing tool, especially if you're.
What's up, Kush?
What's up? Guest today.
This ad is sponsored by Kush Nuggets.
Yeah. But man, you just took my train of thought, buddy.
Let's talk about, have you thought about getting into your own podcast for your own business and things like that, or getting your dog clients to kind of, I think that'd be a great angle as, if you're doing training and everything, to have a little verbal thing to go with it.
Yeah, we thought about it. David, the owner, he tried to do his own podcast. I'm not sure what really happened. He kind of fell off the wagon on that one a long time ago. But I think it would be a good thing for sure. There's a lot of dog trainers that do it, actually. Me personally, I have been thinking about it. One of my big things is I thought about doing a service industry one.
Right.
Like servers, bartenders, telling their stories and stuff.
That'd be good.
I think that'd be a really fun one, because I was doing that for 6-7 years, so I know a few stories.
Everybody that works in there. I went to vocational high school. I did culinary arts because my first job when I was 14 I was a chef.
Yeah.
Cleaning kitchens, worked my way up to assistant cook, chef.
Yeah.
Yada yada. But it was one of those I learned this is a horrible job. It's great to know how to cook. I'm very lucky that I know how to cook. I'm sure the family would say the same thing.
Yeah.
The kid wanted buffalo, didn't want buffalo wings. She wanted like garlic parmesan. She's like, oh, we don't have garlic parmesan sauce.
What's it? Yeah.
Here you go, garlic parmesan sauce.
Yeah.
But like same thing when I worked this Vernon in the house, you would come home every day like this stupid motherfucker, blah blah blah. So I mean that'd be a great thing to have as a podcast, especially two people that are in the service industry could listen to it, and then people that aren't, like, oh, I do that.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
I shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah. I tell you, man, I wish that it was a mandatory thing that everyone do some kind of service job when they're in high school. Right. Just so you could understand where people come from. Because I started out as a host, and then I worked myself up to a manager. I'd been to every facet of different people that come in.
Right.
The takeout people that suck, the server, the customers that come to the tables that suck. The best people are bartender, like being a bartender, and the people go to the bar. They're there to drink. They don't care about anything. So. But yeah, I think it would just be a really fun podcast to talk about that, because I personally don't know of a podcast that talks about those kind of stories or whatever.
Right.
Plus, I love talking. I talk all the time. You can ask my girlfriend. I talk my head off to her all the time. But I would love to talk about maybe not photography, because I feel like all my facets.
There's so many. That's such a saturated niche too.
Exactly. Like. I have to figure out, but I would love to. Like, that's why I was so excited to come here. I was like, oh yeah, let's see what this is all about,
Right.
And like I said, I looked on your Instagram for your podcast already. Like, I don't know what your listening count is or whatever, but I mean, you have a good following, it looks like, on your Instagram already. So
right.
that's cool, and that's kind of equates back to what we were talking about originally. Like, people are afraid to do something because they're going to be stupid or they're going to suck at it, but like. You pushed through that boundary. You were like, I want to start this fucking podcast.
Right.
So you did it, and like you said, you listened to that first one, and you're just like, oh. But now here you are. How many have you done now?
You're 31.
31. See, you've done 31 podcasts already. This year. There you go. And you see, that's what people, they're always afraid to do that first, second, third one. But man, once you get there, once it becomes a routine, like
right.
it just.
Yeah, like you mentioned, like the listen, it's like I always find it really interesting, like, because again, me being a social media guy too, like the analytics are super interesting to me. Where like it's interesting to see what one I didn't think was going to get more listens, or I thought this would get listens but it gets views. Yeah. Where like the audio version of the podcast is still really low on view counts, but then when I take each one, like each question that I ask you, I end up taking it, breaking it into a segment and doing it IGTV or whatever, and those are averaging about 100 views each. Yeah. So like if I could just get the segment, that's 100 views, and then you add all those up, you're like, I'm killing it on that one. But same like you said, the Instagram, the Colin Can Help page that started this time last year, that's just short of 2,000, like 20. I keep like. That little tiny bit, I'm like, just get me to that 2,000. I'm like 1976 or something. And then the Colin's Can Help, Colin's Conversation, that is 6 to 8 months old. 8 months old, I think, and that's hovering around 1,300. Yeah. But luckily, I know how to do a little bit of social media management. So, but like with that one, what's nice is with the podcast, is like we'll take the Casey one that I did, because that's how you're here. Yeah. I go through, if they're a guest, I follow every single person on their following page. Yeah. Like normally I try to do the interviews Monday, Tuesday, so I have a couple of days to kind of do that, plus get a little bit of clips and everything to promote it. For sure. And keep it in a cycle that way. But by going on and liking, like Casey had like 1,300 people. I have 500 mutual followers now. So as soon as you get 500 mutual followers and you keep popping up, Skuff Micksun here, there. We got Josh Dobay. They're like, I know that motherfucker. I don't care about Colin conversation, but I do like Skuff. I do like Josh. You know? So they're like, oh, let me go down the rabbit hole. Oh, if I click this, I go to this. I click this, I go to that. So it's a beautiful way, like you said, everything's connected to where, right now, even if your view, the last one I did was a complete flop. Jillian, don't worry. We'll get you some views eventually. But like, that one I took on because of the guy that I do a lot of kick back and forth with ideas, Jeremiah Craig, check him out. YouTube-wise, he's killing it. He's a folk singer, balladeer, but also a freelance marketer. So he decided he loves wearing cowboy boots. Stu's got 2,500 followers ever since he really stepped his cowboy game up. And Tacova and all these other big boot brands sent him boots.
There it is.
You know, he goes on, he'll go to a boot store, talk to the people, and be like, hey, can I do a couple of videos of trying boots on and things like that? They'll go try on boots for 2 hours in the store, edit them up, and next thing you know, that boot brand's sending them boots.
Yeah.
Because he got 4,000 views or however many views that he's
Yeah.
getting. You know, it's like, and that to me, like you said, a lot of people don't go break through that wall. I'm like, I want free shit too.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
let me go talk to a bunch of people, build up the following, and send me some free shit. I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Like same too, with the podcast, I host everything through Anchor.fm. It's a free service, real easy to set up, and what's nice about them is they give you all the analytics. It's unlimited storage, but then they also provide sponsors. So Anchor was a sponsor for a while. Same with Joe Rogan. I had the Squarespace as a sponsor for a short time. That one ended. What was funny is I'm doing a podcast telling this person how I need to make them a website. Then the mid-roll comes in and it's, hey, it's Colin if Colin can help. If you want to do Squarespace, it's a great website.
Yeah.
Or you could go with me. But Squarespace, you know, one of those
Yeah.
type of things. But the ability to, you and me wouldn't be having this conversation if I didn't have a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, like artists that I'm working with or whatever, or clients that I pick up. Like,
Yeah.
if I would have just I said too much, I only have, you know, a cell phone with a Shure microphone, which is a beautiful piece. I don't know if you noticed that. It plugs right
Yeah.
into the thing.
Yeah. I love those things.
Nice little condenser mic, fits
Yep.
in my pocket anywhere I want to go.
Yep.
$20 tripod, and that's our normal light that instead
Yeah.
of in the corner, I put on the couch.
Right there, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's one of those in each one, and then I do, like, if it's on a different location, I won't have that, but I'll do something different here or whatever, but, like, you gotta keep that same format and just keep moving it and working it, and sometimes they hit big, sometimes they don't, but like
Yeah.
you said, as long as you keep it consistent, whether it's social media, podcast, dog photos, naked lady photos, as long as you're posting this stuff consistent,
Yep.
people are gonna be like, oh, I haven't seen Josh post a dog recently, let me go check. Or,
Yeah.
it's Friday. Colin always puts out something on Friday. Let me go check. You know,
Yeah.
and then right there you're on their minds, and like we were saying earlier, that's how the lead gen comes in of, hey, I want to be on the podcast. I'm actually turning people down for the podcast now.
Hell yeah.
Like, that's a
Yeah.
fucking sweet feeling.
Within within this last 6 months.
Within 6 months' time, 30 episodes, I'm turning down 2 or 3 people a week just because, you know, whether
Yeah.
I don't like your music, or the one guy, we won't say any names just because that's kind of mean, but, you know, he's like, oh, you know, check out my stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I checked out his stuff, 5 YouTube videos. First one, 30,000 views. That catches my attention.
Yeah.
7 views, 15 views, 21 views. The reason he got 30,000 views is official Chris Brown, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Cover.
don't do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, how come you did this? But, oh, you might not know, but it's a marketing technique. Like, well, your marketing technique just made me not want to work with you. So, like,
Yeah.
you might want to kind of get on your own merit and go do your own thing. Like,
Yeah.
Chris Brown, that's cool. He gets 5 million views. You just took 30,000 away from him.
Yeah.
You just wasted somebody's time that has to watch your shit now.
Yeah.
That
30
wanted to go see Chris Brown.
Yeah, 30,000 of them.
You know, like, they're not going to go look at your other 4. They're going to be like, fuck this guy. Let me
Yeah.
go find the real Chris Brown that says actual official song. You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like, don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if this only gets 7 views, 1 view, 2 views. We did it. It was fun. We have a connection now. Anything that we need to work together again, we have that. Opposed to, like, if I'm like, hey, check out, you know, whatever. You know, whatever the hot thing is. You know,
Yeah.
They're like, nobody's going to watch that. They're like, oh, it's an hour interview of Josh, not why Donald Trump fell down the stairs or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
clickbait is cool,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No. If anything, it turns people off for
Absolutely.
good, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's that dude. So he's like, oh my God, what I did to get arrested or whatever, and then it has nothing to do with even
Yeah,
anything.
like you sit there with the whole 7-minute video, you're like, this dude, there's not even a cop in here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I get it, you know, they want that quick
Right.
click or whatever.
But kind of like you were saying, how you don't feel I don't want to misquote you, but you don't feel you're interesting enough to do vlogging.
Yeah.
Where, I don't know if you follow Gary Vee, but I follow a lot of the Gary Vee advice of put on your what's boring to you now, and in 2 years, 3 years time, you made it big, people are going to be like, damn, the fuck did Josh do? 3 years ago, he was living in a van down in Florida, going back and forth between all these places, like, I'm living in a van, you know, or like whatever that relevancy is, and they're like, all right, well, same with your photographer lady. You're like, all right, this is how she did it. That's the blueprint, you know. Even if you don't think it, blueprints are boring as fuck. Even an architect's gonna look at the blueprint like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I think a lot of times, there's my one friend, Billy Matsumoto.
I know Billy.
You know Billy?
Yeah,
Okay.
I met Billy twice. It was funny too. It's they did a show at the Grog Shop a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like all of Ty C's people and everything, and Casey's there, and this is our friend Billy, and I'm so bad with names, especially like in the loud, they're playing the music and everything. You do the friendly, oh hey Billy, what's going on? And then like 2 minutes later, he's like, you remember my name? I'm like, nah, bro. And then like a week later, I'm at Casey's house, and he walks down the stairs. I'm like, Billy!
Yeah.
I remember your name now.
Yeah. He's one that has told me quite a few times, just when I always need it. He's like, man, you do I can't believe how far you've came. He's like, some of the things that you put out, I'm just like, Josh made that? And I'm just like, really?
You're probably like, dude, you juggle chainsaws.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying what I did is amazing?
Yeah. This dude's like, so good at so many things. I'm just like, wow.
Right.
And
he's so nonchalant about everything.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And he tells me, like, that was amazing. It's like, your work is so good. Like, I still can't believe that you started when you did, and you're putting out the stuff now. And I'm, internally, I'm just like, I didn't know it was that good. It is easy to get into that mindset. Whereas if I maybe did vlog about something, somebody would be like, "Holy shit! Like that's how you do it," or "That's not boring to me. Like that's exciting." And it's just some everyday thing for me.
Right.
And I definitely get stuck in that loop sometimes. I'm just like, oh, I'm just a nobody regular, like I'm not grinding or whatever, but
right.
I am. And you're absolutely correct. I'm trying to build my own brand as well with this Josh Dobay Productions, and it's like there's a lot of people who never do anything like that,
right.
And I'm like, oh, I'm boring,
Yeah, I mean, there's a million, if not more than a million people that are staying at a Melt or a Bob Evans or whatever, because that manager job pays the bills. They're miserable, but it pays the bills, so that they, instead of taking that risk to be not at all comfortable. I mean, you and I both know running your own stuff, trying to build your own brand, that's the number one thing. Like I said, I left at 7 this morning, and I'm still rolling at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, 3, whatever time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, well, you own a business, you own a company, that's cool, you make your own schedule. Yeah, but my schedule's 23 hours a day.
Yeah. If I'm on a shoot, I'm there until I'm done.
Right. Then your shoot, not only are you there till you're done, but I'm sure you're going back to the lab somewhere and editing.
Oh yeah, and then I'm editing for 2-3 weeks straight.
Right.
Something that I would love to bring up right now actually is Evan and I. So we're working on a TV pilot right now. So it's basically where he goes, and he's really into animals and conservation, such like that. So we go to a city, we work with their zoo to work with an endangered animal, right? So he paints a mural of said animal. We get conservationists about that animal, talk about what's going on with it, why is it endangered, how are we working to help it. And while we're there in that specific city, we go to places to eat. The what's what in that city, right? So it benefits the animal, the zoo, the city, and all that. I find that so interesting. But it takes so much work.
Absolutely.
We go and film. I mean, the last one we did, it's called the PA Bat Rescue. It's this girl. She's amazing, Steph Schrock. She literally does all of it on her own dime.
Wow.
Yeah, she's the only bat rescue in in Pennsylvania. She has 100 bat, 40 to 60 bats at any time. And we had to get there. We got there, I got there that night before on Friday, and then we filmed all day Saturday, and then we filmed in the morning Sunday, and then I had to drive back that night. It's like a good solid 48 hours that I'm just working basically constantly. And then I have to bring it back, and now I'm still working on it, and that was 3 weeks ago. It's like this huge thing, and people, like you said, are just like, oh, just you can work whenever you want. I'm not, I wish, man.
Right.
But I have to work on that after I get home from working at the dog, at Miracle
Right.
Canine. So I go in, I work, I edit videos and edit photography there, and then I come back home and I have to do it all over again, and it's like, it is a grueling pace,
Absolutely.
and it is laughable sometimes when people, but that's why they'll never do it
Right.
themselves, because they're like, oh, you can make your own schedule. You don't, like, no, dude, you don't understand the work that you have to put in to every little facet. If you want to, no matter what business you're starting, as even with the landscaping thing, like, you have to get up this early to get there, to come back, to now do your marketing thing.
Right.
And people don't want to grind sometimes. They're just like, oh, just hand it to me. If I just keep doing this 9 to 5, maybe it'll come my way.
I'll do it when I retire.
Yeah, it'll come my way eventually. No, that's because if you already have that, which, if you're doing a 9 to 5 and you think that way, you're never going to get that promotion or whatever, because they can see that you're just doing the bare minimum to get by.
Right.
Like, they'll promote someone that even, maybe that is their life. Maybe they really enjoy that 9 to 5, because it is for some people. It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that person's like, I love this company and I will fucking die on the sword for this company.
Right.
They're going to promote that motherfucker for the guy that, it'll come my way.
Right.
There's many different levels of success,
Absolutely.
Success isn't the eye of the beholder, honestly, to me. Like, if I don't make a shit ton of money in my life, at least I knew, like, I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you had a body to work, you made your own
Yeah.
rules, and you enjoyed what you did.
Exactly. And I think that's the other thing, is people do get stuck up on money. Yeah, we need money. Everyone needs money to live.
Right.
You gotta buy some fucking food, you gotta put a roof over your head. I fucking get it.
Right.
But it's like when you put that in front of what your like needs, your actual inner needs, like what you should be doing with your life,
Right.
you're doing it for the wrong fucking reason, man, dude. Like, I don't care what it is in life. Like, money will follow when you're passionate about what you're doing,
I feel it.
I mean, I know a lot of people in this, like, industry that do it just for money. They're like, oh, it's about that guap, man. It's about, they have all this equipment and, like, making lots of money, but I can just tell they're not fucking happy. I'm like, then why are you doing it? Like, you could do something way easier for, like, good money.
Right.
That's the thing that always surprises me about anyone that's in the music or film or art. If they're doing it for money, I just don't understand it, man.
Right.
Like, this is hard work. Like if that dude was just doing it for money, let me tell you, he'd hate his life.
And it wouldn't look that good.
And it wouldn't look that good, because I mean, that's in any facet. If you're not passionate about it, your quality suffers no matter what.
Right.
I'm
gonna run that back before I forget my point on this. The
Yeah.
TV concept that you're talking about.
Yeah.
The guy I mentioned, Jeremiah Craig. I'll send you some links to it, but I want you to check out his Break Room Balladeer series.
Okay.
Because I think that you could borrow a lot of what he's doing there. The idea, he's a folk singer, musician, makes his own songs, yada yada yada. But he's also a videographer, content, like I mentioned. So what he does is he finds small to mid-range businesses that have anywhere between like 5 and 50 employees. And the idea is he comes in and for free, he'll film an interview with the company high-ups in the company and talk about the company and put all that together. But then he ties his music into it by me doing this for you, I need to perform for the entire staff. So he'll do a half the day or full day or whatever of interviews of get all of his footage, get all of his social media clips, and then he'll actually write a song based off of like the one that he did. That comes to mind. It was like a used clothing store in Seattle that did not used clothing, but like used kind of like Play It Again Sports here,
Okay.
but like for like mountaineer type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite songs of his came from doing it for basically a thrift store. So like he's able to tie in his music same way that your guy could tie in the mural of like, hey, I'll cut you a break on the mural, but let me go ahead and get this content developed so that we can talk about you, show what I'm doing, and then every day your people could see my art here.
Yeah.
Kind of that type of thing. And then he has another series called the Expressway Balladeer, when he's traveling and doing different things, kind of the same thing. He'll kind of set up like on the side of the road, a rest stop or whatever, and kind of do the tours showing of everywhere that he's been, and then, you know, playing a song up against the mountains or whatever. But like you said, kind of finding music is his passion, but he's finding a way to kind of bring music into different things.
Yeah.
Also the guy that made the theme song to the Colin Can Help podcast, so thank you, Jeremiah.
There you go.
The best theme song in all the podcasts.
Yeah.
Which was so funny because I didn't even commission it. It was just one of those, like, you know, we throw enough ideas and he's like, hey, I'm working on a podcast theme song for you. I'm like, sweet, but like my personal music is more like rap and, you know, give me some gangster shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying, like, let's get some, you know, some nice little beats and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he comes in with guitar and, you know, kind of like the twang, and I was like, the first playthrough I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And then like the more I listened to it after 3, 4, 5 times, I was like, you fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't even ask for it. He came up with the words, and then like he ended up making an IGTV video, which like was the behind the makings of it. I'm like, that's so fucking sweet, man. Or some, like even like you're doing, I'm sure, with the guy, you know, doing the paint and everything. Like to see blank wall and then kind of either a time lapse or this is how he's picking his paints and they're doing the different things. Like to me, I can't draw, but to find out how people do that finished product is such a whole. Like, some people just see the mural and that's all they want to see, but to be able to have, like you said, showing, even he might think his artwork sucked then, and he's like, oh, wait, I remember how I did that and how I did that. Or, you know, like, it's amazing to watch that process go.
Yeah. Well, it is, I mean, just watching him paint in general.
Yeah, I've seen the planetarium one that you had.
Yep.
That was a sick mural.
Yeah. Did you like that little video too?
Yeah, you did good, man.
Good, thank you. But, no, you know, that was just one of those moments where me, like, personally, I was just like, wow, I'm in a science center with my boy, like, we're doing this, you know, he's painting a mural on something that, like, millions of kids are going to see. Millions. You know, because the mural that was there before, it was there for, like, 25 years. So that one's going to be there for that or longer.
Right.
You know, it's just like, oh my God, like, what we're doing here is, like, that's cool.
And the cool things about that is some kids might not give a fuck about the science center. You know, all they want to do is draw and doodle, and like, they get there and they're like, astronaut.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool to be able to document something like that. This is something that's actually important.
Right.
You know, it's not just like, oh, we're doing some street art or whatever. Like, this is in a science center where what is going to pay, like, future generations, you know? And it was just a really fun experience, and this is where I'm just talking about, like, at the end of the day, it's like opportunities. You know, you gotta work your way up, but you also gotta know, like, you find people and you work with those people, and you keep those, like, relationships going, because all the best things I've ever done is I do one thing for them, and I'm like, listen, you know, I keep my relationships good, and it's always just come back tenfold, you know.
Keep the bridge.
Keep the bridge. Yeah, don't burn the bridge. Don't ever burn the bridge. I don't care if you
Even
hate
if you're a
them,
bridge maker, don't burn them.
Yeah, be a bridge maker. Don't burn them ever. It'll always bite you in the ass at the end. I swear it. Like, karma is a bitch sometimes.
Right.
Even if it's not your fault, you gotta just stay civil as possible. But always, even if it just seems like something you might not want to do because it's uncomfortable, you should do it.
I always say if it's uncomfortable, that's more reason to do it.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, the best things that you do come from a sense of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, if you're comfortable, you're complacent, you know, you're starting to die once you're comfortable and complacent. I was on the Perceptions of Reality podcast a couple months ago, and that was, like, really interesting how they do there. It's like the guest picks the conversation, and you don't tell them what it is until you're live. Yeah. And it was one of those, like, I'm sitting there, like you said, like 5 minutes before the thing, and I'm like, I host a podcast. I've done 20-some episodes at this point. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to talk about, though?
Yeah.
Like, do I talk about this? Do I talk about that? And I've, like, had this thing, and then as soon as you said, all right, we're live, I was like, let's talk about why people are comfortable and why that's a bad thing. You know, like, once you're comfortable, you're not learning. And once you're not learning, your brain's dying. Like, so, like you said, if it's an uncomfortable situation, throw yourself at it.
Yeah. like, his thing that he wants to do is a TV show. He wants to pitch it to Animal Planet and Discovery Channel and all this stuff, and I'm just like, you want me to edit this? You want
I'd
me
be
to do
careful
this?
with that, though. I mean, I might like, there's glory to that, but in today's world, I mean, you guys could have host that on his own website.
Yeah.
and everything comes to you. All the control stays within him and you, and you know what I mean. Opposed to Animal Planet gets you a bigger platform quicker, but make your own ad revenue on it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's his thing.
His
That's
thing.
the only thing I know. And just knowing that there's people like execs like that seeing it though, it's just like, okay, you know, and it makes me really, you know, like uncomfortable and nervous. So I'm just like, oh shit, like these people see like pilots all the fucking time, and I got to make something that's presentable to them, you know, and it's definitely like pushed me like, okay, I gotta get my shit together on this, you know, and it's definitely helped me grow in the last couple months because we just started doing this in May, and I mean my editing is just, it's just firing on all cylinders, you know. And I think, like you said, it's good to get out of that comfort zone because that's where I was sitting for a while, just for a couple months. And I'm like, oh, this is fine, you know. But now, like, I'm trying to get more into my photography as well. That's the thing is like, you know, I'm trying to put my tendrils out and everything, learn everything I can. I just bought like another, you know, $500 worth of equipment. Great, you know, but you know, it's this nice soft box and nice strobe lights for like portrait photography and stuff. So that's my next avenue, and I think that's my favorite part about photography is that I've been able to find all these facets and just learn from every one of them. You know, and you know, I think we talked about it in our messages before. It's just like it's easy to get like in a standstill or like monotonous in certain things. So it's nice to find all these other avenues in with what you're doing. Absolutely. You know, whereas it's video or photography, what kind of photography, dog photography, wedding photography, portrait work, whatever. It's
amazing. We just got married April 20th this year. And
congratulations.
Thanks, man. We're not even divorced yet. We're killing it.
Woo!
As the divorce lady I talked to on the last podcast, I was like, I don't need your services. I hope to never need your services, but how are you?
Yeah, nice.
But like, to me, it's amazing what people charge and what people pay for one day of capturing just photos. And we ended up going with my buddy I was talking about, Jeremiah, because A, we knew him, you know. Didn't want everybody coming in, you know, like it was at my uncle's house. Like, I'm not trying to have some stranger just come in running the show. Like, I want somebody that actually knows us, that knows what we care about. Take a couple photos. I'll edit them myself. I have Photoshop, but he put together a great wedding video for us. And, you know, working on the barter system, I'll pay you a little bit of money and give you a little bit of skills and the best thing in the world. But, like, if you could get busy on weddings, go eat people's food, drink their booze, and take some photos of them. That's the best job in the world, man.
Yeah, you think that. There are some bridezillas, let me tell you.
True. I mean, you have to be selective in who you're picking, but like, the more I was going through people, I was like, I know we need this service, but I can't pay somebody that much to take my photo. I don't even like getting my photo taken.
Here's a good one for you. So my first wedding that I did photos for, this was last August. I knew her. That's how, like, we worked at Melt together. And she asked me to do her photos. I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I got my friend, Kelsey, which is K-Ray Photography. Hope I got that right, Kelsey. I'm sorry if I didn't. But
if you didn't, at least I'll do the research and make sure the link's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's k.ray.photography. She's done weddings for years, so I was like, please help me with this.
Come take me to school.
Yes, exactly. And she did willingly, you know. She's an amazing person, and we went. It's a venue downtown. It started at 5 o'clock, right? 4:30, power goes out. There's a storm that comes through, and where the ceremony's at in the building, there's not one window. It's pitch black where the ceremony's supposed to be. I'm like, oh my god, because we went down to Shooter's, the Shooter's Bridge. You know what I'm talking about? Down, so it's this really nice place. Those came out beautiful. You know, I'm like, yes, these are so great. Today is going so well. It's going so well. And then the power went out. So now I'm like freaking out. Well, I'm like, oh god, hopefully the power comes back on. They called the power company. Oh, it'll be back on in 15 minutes. I'm going to tell you right now, the power never came on the rest of that night. So the ceremony, we have our flashes out. I have my phone flash so I can pull focus on people in pitch black. I'm just like, because they put candles around. That was the only light. It was basically pitch black in there during the whole ceremony and the reception. And I looked at her and she was just like laughing. I'm like, what? She's like, this is your first one, right? I was like, yeah. She's like, this is the worst wedding I've ever had to shoot. Don't worry. And I'm like, oh, great. So that's how I started out my wedding photography career, was the lights were out, which thankfully we still got everything. She walked me through everything. It was amazing. But, that was one of those where it's just like very stressful situation that I was like, oh God, I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, if I, this is a lot of money. Like, this is a person's like moment, and we still caught it and it was good. But it's one of those moments where you got to like ascend and fight back, and thankfully I had a mentor there to help me. I think I would have. So Kelsey, thank you.
I had two things like that with the podcast. One of the first ones that I did with whenever I have somebody that's not local, I use Google Hangouts and run it through YouTube events live. So like you get them on the screen and everything, and it records it through YouTube. You can download it. Okay. You have your footage. Works well once you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
The first time that I did it, I didn't realize that. Like, to me, I thought because my head was big on the screen, that's what, like, flipped it. I'm like, all right, so I'll have both of them and whatever. And it was me on the screen the whole time. And you see, most of the time I'm sitting here just listening, and just while you're talking, I'm thinking of other questions and things like that. That's all that I had recorded. You could barely hear what the lady was saying and blah, blah, blah. And she was saying some of the best shit ever.
Yeah.
Alicia Caldwell Henderson, one of the interviews. We ended up redoing it, like, the next day after I, downloaded the footage. I'm like, this isn't usable.
Yeah.
And then another one we did with Ashley Greathouse, who is a really cool horror author.
Okay.
That we ended up having fun at home. I still never published this thing because we got nothing usable out of it. But same thing, the power went out. We're at our old place, and we're she's horror thing. We're talking blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And the lights go out, and Lily, she's 10, so one of those, like, the lights come out. She's like, you see, she does real good, staying in her room, staying quiet, and she comes out. She's like, what happened? The power's out, and and I'm on my phone doing the podcast, so like that's still going.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, Ashley, like, we lost power. We'll redo this another day. But she knew that Ashley was a horror author, and we had these little puck lights on the ceiling, and they had a little remote control.
Yeah.
And like, I started clicking on them, and it was like, the lights just turned on. And I was like, oh shit, I think Ashley sent a ghost. Like, probably one of the ghosts from our stories. And we were able to run with it for like the whole time the power was out. We had so much fun with it. But like you said, the power goes out, like, what are you going to do? You either run with it or you sink.
Yeah. So you got to just keep going.
Got to keep going. So let's start wrapping it down. One thing I'd be a fool not to touch, you're covered almost head to toe in ink. When you start getting tattoos?
When I was 17.
17?
Yeah. That one. The rock bracelet for an ex-girlfriend. I have to be honest.
Nice.
At least I didn't get her name.
There you go.
So, other than that, I mean, I'm a fine collector of art.
And you said the mural guy does almost all your work?
He's done all of this arm. He did my hands and one back here. Everything else is just random people.
So everything that's color is the art, the mural man, and everything else is
mostly
randoms?
Randoms. Yeah.
How do you pick what you get?
I just kind of let him go with it. Yeah. I like bugs, as you can tell. I have quite a few bugs on me. This one, so it's a botfly, and it's laying. I don't know if you know what botflies do. They put their larvae in living tissue.
All right.
So they come on you, they lay their eggs and go, and then all of a sudden you have a boil, and then there comes a little bug.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So I was like, let's make it disgusting. So I have a little zombie eye on there and stuff. But other than that, I mean, the one on the back of my calf is it's an owl, and then there's the world under it, and the world is falling apart. And that's the only real meaningful one I guess I have, because it's like no matter how wise you are, your world can always fall apart.
I like it.
Yeah. But
any of them you regret?
I mean, this whole sleeve over here, it's a little angel sleeve. I used to be religious, not anymore. I stopped drinking the Kool-Aid per se. I mean, that's just me.
It's alright, I drink Mountain Dew, I don't fuck with Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not even that. Like, if it was still a good sleeve, I would keep it. But the person that I got it with don't really talk to him anymore, and I'm probably never gonna get it finished. So it's
Thinking about going over it with something else? Or?
yeah, I'll probably black it out one of these days, and then put like geometric white shapes over it. Cool. It's like a big thing right now. Because other than that, I'm gonna have to laser it off because this is all too dark to really put anything over it besides something dark. So.
And I've got another tattoo artist coming soon on the podcast. What would you talk to a tattoo artist about?
Would you talk to him about? Shit, I don't know, man.
That's what everybody says. They're like, oh, his stuff's real cool, but I don't know. I don't ask him.
Yeah. I mean, his art background for sure, because obviously if he's a tattoo artist, he can draw.
Right.
Like, I like to know what their real art passion is, because, you know, with Evan, getting to know him, like, and knowing what his real, like, passion is really cool. Like, tattoos are cool, and he loves doing tattoos, but, like, there's this whole other world that he has with, like, these murals and stuff like that. And it's really, I think you find out more about who they are from what they paint.
Right.
You know, on a canvas than a human.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun talking with Casey about, you know, we did like 45 minutes of, all right, let's talk about your music, let's talk about this, but like luckily, like I knew from Maura that he did tattoos, you know, and he's covering tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, it shocked him, like, you know, because he's done interviews with other people before, and he's like, nobody's ever talked to me about that. Like, cool, let's go into it. Like, and you know, like I talked to him, I was like, you ever been doing a tattoo? And you're like, oh fuck, like, you know, like you said, we've all been in that artistic process of like, I don't know how this is gonna come out.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's like, he told the story about the old World War II vet or something like that. He's like, this dude's skin was like so frail that I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, shit.
And you know, like a video edit or a mural or whatever, you could kind of go over it or whatever, but like you get to a certain point in the tattoo and there's only so much you could do.
That is there forever now. Yeah. I'd like to real quick touch on that. So Casey and I did that spoken word. I call it Desire to Inspire. If anybody's interested, hit me up. It's like a little mini series where it's just spoken word. Like, you can rap, you can talk, whatever. It's just something that's inspirational that you've went through. I'm looking to get people on that. So if you want to do something raw, anything like that, please hit me up. Josh Dobay Productions, DM me. I would love it. Whether you're just a poet or you're actually like a rap artist, anything, plug it. I had to plug it real quick.
Absolutely.
You know, because that's something like I really like to be inspirational if I can, you know. And that's just one way I feel like I could be, so.
Do you know Kip Stone?
Do not.
Nuke Franklin?
Mm-mm.
Both people at East Cleveland. Part of Casey's crew is how I came in touch with them.
Okay.
I'll put you guys in touch.
Yeah, sure.
Kip is very, very lyrical.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his music, you're listening to it, you're like, oh, that sounds good. Then when you actually like, you know, those artists where you're like, oh shit, he just said this, or you know what I mean, one of those type of things. First two that come locally up to mind, but that was a perfect segue. It wasn't even a shameless plug, because how I like to end every interview is what I call the digital soapbox. Look dead in the camera, you get 1 minute to say anything you want, whether it's promotional, inspirational, tell people how to find you, any way that you want to leave the viewers and the listeners. You get to end the interview on whatever tone that you want to go, and whenever you're ready, time starts whenever you start.
Okay. All right, first and foremost would be, you got to follow the dream. I don't care what it is. I don't care who tells you that it's stupid or anything like that. You got to do it. Just do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. I can't say it one more time. I'm going to say it again. Do it. Because you never know where you're going to be. I would never have thought that I would be here. I never knew that I'd have my own company, or I'd work with the people that I have worked with, or make the content that I had. I am so thankful for all the opportunities that I have had, and it's all because I believed in myself, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I said fuck it, and I just went down the rabbit hole and I did it. So don't ever be insecure, anything like that. Just follow what you feel is right in the time of your life, because maybe it's not the right thing forever, but it might be the right thing to do at that point in your life. So
beautiful. And let them know where to find you. Give them all the contact information.
Sure. You can find me Josh Dobay Productions on Instagram. I am building a website right now. It's going to be jdp.com. Just working on that right now. It should be up in a week or so. Other than that, Josh Dobay on YouTube. I only have like 1 or 2 things, but Skuff's thing is on there. So other than that, that's about it.
Beautiful. And that's the podcast. You successfully finished your first podcast.
Woohoo!
It don't matter